Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a StuG IV. It's a Tier 5 German premium tank destroyer. It's located on the west spawn of Studzianki and it's under the command of Fluffylilkitten. Now this is the tank you get for completing the first set of personal missions. It's a reward tank, so you don't get extra credits when you play this thing because Wargaming won't let you have them. Well, this vehicle is produced on the hull of a Panzer Kampfwagen 4 Ausführung H or J. The Panzer IV. They built 1,108 of these and they converted a further 31 Panzer IVs that have come back to Krupp as battle damage and converted those into StuGs. There was a dying ear for StuGs actually by the German forces because they were very good at taking out the enemy tanks. They were very low, very difficult to spot, and they could, with their 75mm gun, do severe damage to enemy tanks before they could do anything about it. The 75mm on this one will do 110 alpha, penetrating 110mm with standard ammo, and with the premium rounds it will go through 158mm. And you can see Fluffy has gone straight to the premium ammo. Now, it's a preferential matchmaking tank, this one, so it'll never see above tier 6. So you're only going to see one tier higher, not two. And that means that most of the targets it's going to be up against you should be able to penetrate with just standard ammo. So Fluffy, why are you using premium? He's got a couple of hits so far on that Chinu. You see the Schussen along the side of the vehicle. Those were fitted by the German forces after their encounters with Soviet anti-tank rifles. Now the rifles wouldn't take out the actual vehicle, but the people who had those rifles were so well trained they could actually aim the shells for where they knew the commander, the driver and the gunners were, and actually kill the personnel inside by firing a round straight through them. So in order to stop them killing their personnel, they started doing all sorts of things like putting metal sheets and attaching those to the side of the vehicle, and that's where you get the Schussen. But you'll notice they also even put road wheels on the vehicle. You can see those set of road wheels there on the left of the vehicle are exactly where the commander is normally. And so those are to protect him just in case a stupid little Russian soldier with his rifle tries to take out the commander. Unfortunately, by pulling up on that bank, he made himself a very good target for the StuG IIIG. Now they made a lot more StuG IIIs than they did StuG IVs. As I said, they built 1,108 of these StuG IV ones, but they did start building them very late in the war. They started in December of 1943, and they actually cancelled the contract for the Panzer IV with Krupp in January of 1943. So they sold, the only tank they actually produced after that was the StuG IV. The StuG IIIG, they produced over 9,300 of those and over 10,000 StuGs in total. And why did they do that? Well, this vehicle was very difficult to kill. In fact, Michael Whitman started out in a StuG. That was the first vehicle he played with. And in fact, the StuGs were normally given to artillerymen because they didn't want them in the Panzer Corps, and the infantry didn't want them. So it was the artillery who actually took charge of the StuGs, and that's why StuGs are always driven by people wearing black clothing. Because black clothing was the clothing or attire of both the Panzer Corps and the Artillery Corps as well. But the crews are incredibly well trained because artillery crewmen have to be trained to a much higher degree than tank crewmen did. You can't see that StuG, but he's rising up and he might be able to get a shot if he just aims his reticule in the right direction. There you go. And he gets one round in. Can he get another? I'm afraid Fluffy's still firing the premium ammo. You don't need to use premium ammo, Fluffy. You could get them with standard. It used to be the rule, apparently, that if you count the number of road wheels on a StuG, you can tell which tank actually supplied the hull that they used for making the StuG. If there were 6 road wheels, you divided that by 2, and that would give you the Panzer III. And if there was 8 road wheels, you divided by 2, and it would give you the Panzer IV. But apparently, according to Nick Moran, that's not true. He was the one who originally said it. I know. I'm just saying that he's now subsequently turned around and said, no, that's not true. In fact, I think also it was Ed Fisher, Ed Francis, not Ed Fisher, what am I saying? Ed Francis also corrected that. He said it was not a good guide as to which vehicle actually provided the hull. Well, there's only 4 left on their team. And the enemy's capping. And he's still blasting away with premium ammo, and he can't even see anything, which is a bit of a waste. You see the poor dispersion on this gun. I finally got that Panzer IV-H. And nice round into the side of the M4A1. The enemy's trying to no-cap kill all. There's only 3 left on the team now. You can see he even went through the front plate on that KV1. And I think that connected as well. Now 1 more round to kill off the KV1. He's now using the standard ammo. Look, he's penetrating. There you go, Fluffy. You see, you can penetrate with standard armor piercing. Just think of all the credits you could have made if you just used standard ammo throughout. Well, he's only got 1 teammate left now, and that's the Matilda Black Prince. A StuG has been seen over by near the enemy cap area, near those huts. I think this is Fluffy saying, if it moves, shoot it. If it doesn't move, shoot it anyway. Oh dear, Fluffy. They are capping again, and this time round they won't come to try and no-cap kill all. They will try and cap. The thing about the 75mm gun, it is very good, and Fluffy's managed to get 1,323 hit points of damage so far. No shot on that M4. And he's all alone now, and he's facing at least 5, in fact 6 enemy tanks. But you see, there you go, AP, standard AP, and you just took out an M4A1. You don't need to use premium ammo, Fluffy. Standard ammo will do fine. He's only got 21 seconds left to get a reset. Come on, you're going to have to move it. That's one of the problems with this little tank destroyer. It's slow. It's very slow. 38 kilometers now is maximum speed. It was carrying a fair bit of armor, but it was slow, and they're going to cap out if he doesn't get another shot on target. And he's firing blind, and they've capped. And look, they were behind the house, so nobody knocked the house down, and that's why they lost. Yep, always make it a point on this map, knock the house down. So that one is a loss. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Here's the end of battle results for Fluffy's game in the StuG IV. He managed to get a 3rd class tanker in that game, and he also got a fire effect, but unfortunately, yes, he did lose the game because the enemy managed to cap out. His win rate from the game was 7,536. He did get quite a lot of damage for a StuG IV, we look at team score, we can see that he did get the highest damage in the game overall, but not 20% of the enemy hit pool, and that's why he didn't get the high caliber. 1,638 hit points of damage. The next high scorer being the Panzer IV Aslains H on the enemy team with 1,576, followed by his own Matilda Black Prince, who got 1,435, was killed before the end. When it came to kills, he actually shared the top spot with the Churchill 3 on his own team. They both had 3 kills, and so did the T1 Heavy on the enemy team, and he also got a cool headed. And when it came to base XP, it's also the enemy team who won that one as well. 748 went to the Panzer IV-H, 739 went to the T1 Heavy, and then 683 went to the Matilda Black Prince. Fluffy only got 454 in that one. He fired 45 rounds in that game, got 24 direct hits and 17 penetrations, damage of 1,638 hit points, of which 1,419 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see the majority of his shooting was at long range. And in fact, actually, that's one area that the StuG IV does not excel at, because it does have quite a lot of dispersion on the gun. The 75mm is much better at close range. 4 hits received, 1 was penetration, 1 non-penetration, and 2 hits by way of splash damage. He blocked damage of 135 hit points in total, spotted 2 enemy vehicles, damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 3, and did 37 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 25,559 credits, but he spent an awful lot on premium ammo. He was spamming premium ammo like it was going out of fashion, and he lost 67,711 credits from that game. And really, he needn't have done so, because as you saw, he was penetrating the M4A1 with no difficulty whatsoever with standard AP. So basically, this is a complete waste, because you should just drive the StuG IV with standard ammo, only carry a couple of rounds of premium if you need to, if it's a tank that you can't normally penetrate, and use it for that instead. He got 25 bonds for mission completion, 681 XP, 272 for this being a premium vehicle, and took away 953 experience points altogether. So sadly a loss, but it did sort of like teach a lesson to Fluffy that he really does need to use standard ammo, not premium ammo, because it's a tremendous waste. He could have got that same win 8 with just standard ammo. He didn't need to spam like it was going out of fashion, and he lost a huge amount of credits. The other thing is that what he did also do is he left it way too late to get back to the cap, and the other thing is that he didn't destroy the house before he left the cap. In fact, I've noticed on Studzianki maps that most people who play that map forget to knock down the house or the camp, and it's absolutely essential that you must knock them down, because it's so easy for the enemy to hide behind them. We had a KV2 on one game actually hid behind the house in the bush. Nobody could see him, and he capped out to win, and nobody ever saw him in the entire battle. So he got a Raider Invader medal. And you saw in that battle that 2 tanks were actually sitting behind that little house, and well, Fluffy couldn't get back in time to knock the house down, fire a round through it, see if he can get a reset. Otherwise, he might have ended up with a medal. So there you go. The lesson is, don't use premium ammo, and always try and get back to your cap as soon as you can, as soon as the enemies start capping. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.